Pirates starter Paul Maholm arriving at the ballpark earlier this afternoon. He should be loose on a very warm night at PNC Park. And a very hot item being given away tonight. Canvas photographs of America's most beautiful ballpark. Welcome to game one of a three-game weekend set. It's the Pirates meeting the San Diego Padres for the first time in 2010. Hi again, everybody. Along with Steve Blass, I'm Tim Neverett. Pirates ran into some hot pitching last night, and Giovanni Gallardo of the Brewers, he was able to cool off the Bucs' bats.
He really did. He came off the disabled list, and he was terrific. So you got a hot starter, they had a very good closer, tough combination. All you do is tip your cap and move right along.
New challenge tonight as San Diego is in town. They've been one of the surprise teams in baseball. They lead the National League West by 3 games to start play tonight.
Yeah, and that's not by accident either. This is a team that won 75 games last year. They've got a terrific road record away from San Diego, and there are reasons why they are where they are.
Look at the numbers and look where the Padres pitching staff ranks among Major League Baseball. Very, very good, especially in bullpen ERA.
Well, you know the old adage, you win by pitching. Their defense is ranked number 1 also. A little bit of a slip recently, but they have been very, very good pitching and defense. That can always get it done.
Our PNC achiever tonight is Paul Maholm. Paul coming off the best performance of the year, perhaps one of the best of his Major League career. A 3-hit complete game shutout. PNC for the achiever in us all.
He was just absolutely terrific. It was like he was in a rocking chair. When Paul is dealing, he's getting a lot of ground balls that will produce some double plays. He just had a terrific game where he was in complete rhythm. And not just last start against the Astros. The start before that against Milwaukee, he was also very, very good.
Pitching matchup, Kevin Correa, the right-hander for San Diego, hasn't won a road game since late April.
Yeah, and he did most of his good work overall in April. He was 4-1, so we'll see what he's got to offer. Paul Maholm, don't change a thing, Paul. You're doing just fine.
Paul Maholm and Kevin Correa. That is the pitching matchup tonight as the Pirates meet the Padres for the first time this season. A very warm night here at PNC Park, and the Pirates hoping to once again make a splash. second baseman for San Diego.
Padres in first place in the National League West by 3 games. This is a very much of a surprise team. 75 wins last year total.
Strike is called to start the ball game. Hottest game time temperature of the season, 91 degrees.
Believe it. Believe it.
Padres were in Atlanta just before coming here to Pittsburgh, and they thought it was pretty hot. Overheard some of the players in the Padres dugout today saying that this was hotter than Atlanta. Tabata looking up into the sun. He makes the catch, and Jerry Hairston is retired. Bud Black's lineup looks like this, brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward, look at Adrian Gonzalez, 296 average against the Buccos. Scott Hairston, Jerry's brother. Yorvin Torrealba, the catcher, and Cunningham. Oscar Salazar, Everett Cabrera at short, and Kevin Correa, the pitcher. Bats 9th.
Against Paul Mahala, left-hander making his 20th start of the year. 6-7, 4.03 ERA. Take a look at the numbers. Coming off a sensational start, 3-hit shutout against the Astros. That ERA is hovering around 4. If he has another good start, he'll dip into the 3s. 8 home runs, but not many recently. He's really kept the ball in the ballpark. He's done a good job in that category.
Here's Denorfia, 1 ball and 1 strike. Center fielder for the Padres.
So you keep it simple with Paul Mulholland. Don't change a thing, Paul. You're doing fine. You're getting the ground balls, and that's always a tip-off that he's got that sinker working. Like that.
Just like that.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe that might have been a little something other than the sinking fastball, 81 miles an hour, but it's a good location nonetheless. He's never beaten the Padres, but he's pitched well. 3 starts, and ERA just a little bit over 3.
Time is called while Mulholland began his windup. Denorfia didn't play yesterday in Atlanta. Back in the lineup today, takes the ball inside. He has 5 home runs. All 5 have come so far in the month of July.
Well, that was strike 3. Nobody called it, but that was strike 3. Trust me. So he should be out. Should be 2 up, 2 down right now.
Wouldn't it be nice to be in Steve's world? I agree. It was a nice pitch. Calling the balls and strikes. Milwaukee behind the plate. Mike DeMuro at first. Jim Reynolds, the crew chief, is at second base. And then back at third, Scott Barry. That's the crew working this series. Chris Denorfia. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Mulholland deals. Chopper right out in front of the plate. Jaramillo wants it. And just got it.
Wow. What a great throw by Jason Jaramillo, because it took him a while to get to the ball. It took him a little while to wind up, but when he set himself, he threw a laser to first base.
Swinging bunt, and Jaramillo had to run a little bit longer than maybe he had anticipated. Once the ball left the bat. Take a look at our AGH cam, super slow-mo, and how nice is that picture? Look at that. Bringing you shots that never been able to bring you in the past. And the AGH cam will be a feature here on Pirates Baseball. People making it happen. Paul Jorgensen, Tim Donovan from AGH, Julie Smith also working on the project. We appreciate their efforts. And there it is, right there. High technology, Steve.
Yeah, we got the Reverend Rhodes working the deal. Good job, Rev.
He says that working that camera is now a religious experience.
It's a fun look. Anytime they use it, it's fun.
2-1 to Adrian Gonzalez.
When you can see somebody's hand getting the grip on the baseball and keep up with it, it's just a blur in live action. It's so much fun to see the configuration of the ball, how they get it out in that throwing position.
Another neat thing is you get to see really good player reactions to certain plays. Gives you an idea of the emotion and thoughts sometimes going through a player's mind.
Just as long as there's no audio sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want the audio necessarily. But Adrian Gonzalez out there with a 3-1 count. And Pirates playing in a shift defensively similar to what they just did against Prince Fielder of the Brewers. 3-1. And that misses. And that's ball 4. 2-out walk for Adrian Gonzalez behind Paul Maholm. Tracking the balls down in the outfield tonight. Lastings Millage in left field. Jose Tabata starting in center again with the absent Andrew McCutchen. Delwyn Young again in right. Alvarez, Cedeno, Walker, and Jones around the infield. Jason Jaramillo, his second start this month at the big league level. He went down to AAA so he can get in the lineup every day. Said he had a blast from the baseball perspective, being able to be in there every single day and contribute. And I think Jason found his way back to the big leagues a little sooner than he had thought, with Ryan Domit being placed on the 15-day DL with a mild concussion. Scott Hairston, the left fielder, standing in with 2 down and Gonzalez aboard. Top of the first inning, no score on a 91-degree night at PNC Park. 1-0 pitch. Now it's 1-1. The Hairstons, part of the Hairston baseball family, they have quite a history. You look back to who has played where, and the ironic thing is you've got brothers playing on the same team.
Jerry, 4 years older than Scott.
Well, we had brothers here last year with the LaRoche brothers for a while. Two and one to Hairston. That's lined to center field and a base hit. Gonzalez will stop at second base as Tabata retrieves it. 2-out single, 2 on and 2 down for Yorvi Torrealba, the catcher. He's been on a bit of a hot streak. Torrealba comes to the plate with a season-long 8-game hitting streak. Talking about the Hairston family, they are a 3-generation Major League family. The Boones,
Alamars,
and the Bells.
What about the Alamars? Well, that's 2 generations. But a father and 2 kids that played.
Grandfather Sam Hairston played for the White Sox in 1951. Uncle John played for the Cubs in 1969. Here's Torrealba. Pitch to him. Yorvi takes strike 1.
Dad played in 69 for the Cubbies. And that was Jerry Sr. or Jerry John? No, Jerry Sr.
Jerry played for the White Sox and the Pirates from 1973 through 1989. And the pitch is inside. And we mentioned grandfather Sam playing for the White Sox in 51, but he also played for the Negro American Leagues, Birmingham Black Barons, and the Indianapolis Clowns. Later became the first African American to play for the White Sox. 1-1 the count to Torrealba, the pitch. 2-1. Gonzalez, a 2-out walk. He's at second base. And Scott Hairston, 2-out single. He's at first. Padres losing 2 of 3 to the Braves on their way to Pittsburgh. Right at Neil Walker, and that'll take care of things in the top half of the first as the Padres will leave 2 aboard. Tabata, Young, and Walker coming up. No score here in Pittsburgh. but did manage to strand 2, gave up only 1 hit and no runs. Go to the bottom of the first inning. John Russell has the batting order looking like this way. Brought to you by Suzuki, Tabata, Young, and Neil Walker. Garrett Jones in the cleanup spot. Pedro Alvarez hitting 5th. Lastings Millage over the last 10 games. 14 out of 39 for a .359 average. Switch hitter Jason Jaramillo, and then Ronnie Cedeno batting 8th. Paul Maholm batting 9th. The pitching.
And they'll work against 29-year-old right-hander San Diego native Kevin Correa, making his 19th start. 6-6, 522. Talking before the ball game about him getting out of the gate in great shape in April. He's 4-1. A little kind of a stutter step since, but he is 6-6 on the year. 1-1 in 3 starts against the Pirates, this former San Francisco Giant. A nice breakout year for Kevin Correa last year as he won 12 games for the Padres.
There's a guy from the San Diego area, still lives there.
Why would you move?
I don't know. Went to high school at El Cajon and Rosemont Junior College. Yeah, it is the nicest climate year-round in the U.S. of A. 0-1 pitch now. Just inside 1-1. Way
back in 2002, drafted by the Giants in the 4th round.
1-1 to Tabata. He'll have to hustle. And he will have a base hit.
Well, one of the things that helped him, that ball took an initial high chop, and then the next hop just kind of settled down and really didn't have much left on it for Salazar to work with. Couple that with the speed of Tabata, you got a base runner here in the bottom of the first. That big bounce and that ball stays down. That helps.
Pirates have the leadoff man aboard. Tabata getting out of the box and burning down the baseline.
Really nothing to look at other than Carlos Garcia, and I'm sure that Carlos Garcia kind of slowed him down as he got closer. He did ease off the speed a little bit, but had the gun going all the way down.
Torrealba has thrown out 8 of 32 would-be base stealers. That's a 25% success rate in throwing opposing base runners out. Tabata with 10 steals.
That's just barely okay. You like your guys to be 30%.
Well, Tabata, rookie leader in steals with 10.
Very short lead.
Just falls backward toward the base. Delwyn Young 2 games ago against the Milwaukee Brewers had a career high 5 runs batted in.
A little addition to the scouting report on Kevin Correa: 15 home runs given up in his first 18 starts. He's a little vulnerable in that area.
He'll throw to first base. Stepping back is Tabata. Jose, as we told you, is number 1 among rookies. And a 0-1 delivery. One ball and 1 strike. 260 the average for DY. That one getting an opportunity to play every day recently due to the injury to Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen may return as soon as tomorrow, maybe Sunday, but John Russell saying definitely Tuesday in Colorado against the Rockies. So the mild sprain of his, or strain, not sprain, mild strain of the right AC joint. Just a shoulder injury. Did some more today. Starting to throw the ball again. Injured it Sunday when diving for a Pedro Feliz sinking line drive. He caught the ball but landed wrong on the right shoulder. Take a look at our Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine injury update. Light throwing, hitting off a tee from McCutchen. Bellman will begin light activities next week. He's got a mild concussion. And David Eckstein, the veteran, 15-day DL. He has a strained right calf.
2-1 count's a good running count. But nothing happening here as the count goes to 3-1.
Three and 1. There's the count. And Domet, all he can do today is watch.
for a few days.
Count is full now, 3-2. Neil Walker on deck.
That is a very hot bat that he's holding on to. And he is smoking hot. One of those streaks. The uniforms matching. The ball girls.
The ball girls have the alternate uniform too. Parrott's got it. Parrott's got more uniforms than the 1979 Pirates had. Payoff pitch coming from Kevin Correa. Tabata takes off, and that is ball 4. 2 aboard with nobody out for the Pirates. And Neil Walker coming to the plate. So Correa, who has walked 44 now and struck out 82 in the season, will face one of the hotter young bats in baseball. How about this one, Steve? 6 straight multi-hit games. He's the first Pirate to do so since Niger Morgan had 6 in a row in 2008, September. The last Pirate player with 7 consecutive multi-hit games, Barry Bonds in 1992.
Go for it, Neil.
2 on and nobody out for Walker. Correa's pitch. Walker looked to bunt. .593 during that stretch, 16 out of 27. Had 2 more runs
scorching.
Batted in last night in the 7th inning with 2 outs.
Defensively, Padres pretty much straight up except for the shortstop Cabrera. He's in back of Tabata.
2-0. Now, if the batter walked before you and then getting started out 2-0, you're more apt to look at this pitch, or you're looking for one that he's going to groove?
Oh, I'd like to see him just have full throttle, because this guy's going to try to get the ball in the strike zone. This could be a fat delivery.
Tabata leading from second. Delwin Young not being held on at first. 2-0 delivery from Correa. And it is in there for a strike.
I don't know if I'd even think about the take sign with Neil, as hot as he's been hitting.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to take the bat out of his hands. No score here, bottom of the first inning. Pirates threatening, nobody out, 2 on. And Walker fouls it away. 2-2 now to Neil. Derek Jones, a cleanup man, waiting for his opportunity.
And the only Sun issue left is Denorfia has about another 5 minutes before that goes away. He's the only guy that's going to have to shade his eyes and be concerned about that as he waits for this delivery. It's that little half moon of sun heading on out of this ballpark.
Correa's 2-2 pitch to Walker. Swung on and well hit to center field, and it is caught by Denorfia. It'll be a situation where Tabata tags and goes to third, and going back to second base, back to first from second, is Delwin Young. So runners at the corners.
And Neil Walker's 0 for 1, but he wouldn't want to hit that ball much differently, maybe a little bit different direction, but you can hear the crack of the bat way up here. Listen up. That's a sweet sound for a hitter. Pitchers don't like that sound. Nice job by Denorfia. We talked about him working the Sun field. Picked that ball up very nice. Got a good jump on it. Made a good catch. That could have been all kind of problems if he had difficulty with the Sun, but he did not.
He was able to move 1 runner up the station. So first and third, 1 out. And Jones lets that one go for a strike. Here, 273 leads the club in home runs and RBIs. 12 homers, 56 runs batted in. Get a couple of more here if possible. On first base, and here comes Tabata. The play at the plate is... What did he call him? He didn't call him in. Tabata thought he touched the plate. And here comes John Russell. Tabata didn't move because he thought he touched home plate.
And Bill Welke was convinced that he didn't. That's why he hesitated on the call to see if the catcher was going to call him. So in his judgment, Jose never touched home plate.
Well, this will be an interesting replay to watch. Bill Welke saying that he didn't touch him, and both players staring at one another.
A throw from Gonzalez. Torrealba.
He's safe.
Well, he touched it for sure.
And the only question is, did he tag him on the backside or not?
Well, the issue is when the umpire waits that long, he's saying that is an indication that he believes he didn't touch it.
Well, he didn't tag him, and he touched home plate. That should be a 1-0 lead. Pretty clearly indicated the AGH cam.
But the indication was the home plate umpire waits. When he waits, that means he's waiting for a tag to be made. If he believes that Tabata got the plate, then it's over. He calls him safe right away, and it's done. But by waiting, that's his indication that he did not believe Jose touched home plate.
0-1 to Pedro Alvarez. Still no score here. Pedro's been pretty hot lately. Didn't have a tremendous night last night, but he was 0 for 4 in recent nights, hitting the ball a long way. Looks at a ball 2-1. Young at second and Jones at first. 2 down, no score. Here's the 2-1. Little roller by the mound, and Correa will handle it. And Correa and the Padres quite fortunate that inning. And after 1 at PNC Park, there's no score.
The Click. And by your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all. Is brought to you by PNC. PNC for the achiever in us all. By Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. And by your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward.
Moving forward quickly to the top of the second, no score. Paul Maholm pitching to right fielder Aaron Cunningham. Oscar Salazar, the third baseman, and the switch hitting shortstop Everett Cabrera also due up this inning. Pitch to Cunningham, line to center. Tabata right there, and it gets over his head. And he'll chase it to the wall. And around second and heading for third is Cunningham. Boy, when it rains, it pours. As the Pirates were denied a run in the bottom half of the first. And then here, Tabata watches the ball sail over his head.
Well, that can happen when they hit the bottom half of the ball and there's a little more carry than you think. He's there and then he's not there. The ball has been carrying a good bit these last 3 or 4 games. We've seen it game after game, and this one takes off on Jose and the race is on. It's a tainted triple.
Oscar Salazar takes a strike.
Aaron Cunningham, first triple of the season. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should give it back, don't you think?
Yeah.
Throw that one back. Catch and release. 0-1. I'm sure he's getting that on there. Salazar 6 out of 18 against the Bucks. Wind is an issue. A warm day like today. A diving stop by Pedro. He will not have a play. He does save the run, however.
And he saves the double.
First and third, nobody out.
Nicely done. This ball was heading for the corner. That would have been a 1-0 lead with a runner at second base and nobody out. But number 17 gets over there and gets the leather around it. And that freezes Cunningham at third base. It is a plus kind of a play, even though it did not record an out. A plus play.
2 on, nobody out, and Cabrera, switch hitter batting right-handed against the lefty Mulholland. Now 0-1 to the foul ball.
Well, Mulholland does throw a lot of ground balls. The Pirates would gladly trade a run for 2 outs right here. Double play, clean everything up, go to the pitcher. Damage done, 1 run. Go get the bats. Let's see if it plays out like that. Or the other plus. Get a chance to pop him up. Keep the runners where they are, 1 out. The pitcher represents the second out. You still got a chance to get out of this thing.
Salazar gets back. Well, Padres 55 and 39. 3 games up on the Giants in the West. There will be a battle in the West. The Dodgers still in it, just 5 back. Colorado 4.5 back. Arizona 19 back. They are not in the race, but there are 4 teams that are still battling for that West title, and a lot of baseball left to play. Bud Black, 3-year contract extension Monday.
A little advice to his pitcher that comes out in the on-deck circle.
Swing and miss for strike 2. That caught a piece of it. Foul tipped it into Jaramillo's ball.
It always seems to be congested in the National League West. Always an issue into September.
Padres with their best record to this point in the season since 1998.
Tough pitch to take, but Cabrera took it.
In 94 games in 98, they were 60 and 34. And in 1984, they were 55 and 39, same as they are here tonight. And Dick Williams led them to the World Series. They were swept by the Tigers in 4 games that year. I think those were the Kurt Bavacqua, Buddy Biancalana Padres.
Well, I remember Kurt well. He was a Pirate, and a most interesting Pirate.
Well, full count now on Everett Cabrera. Runners at the corners, and Mulholland goes to first. Expecting Salazar perhaps to be leaning towards second base on a full count. The wind has kicked up and changed direction, going out to left field now. Outside ball 4, and the bases are full of bad guys with still nobody out.
Well, the Pirates expecting to be ahead 1-0, and really when you take a look at this whole thing, you'll realize why we're saying this. The throw from Gonzalez to Torrealba at home plate. right there. You see the hand on the plate. You see the catcher's missing the tag. Excuse me. So clearly, Tabata scored.
Here's a ground ball in left field by Correa, and a run comes in. Cunningham scores. It's 1-0 San Diego. Fourth hit of the season for Correa, and his third run batted in.
Boy, it all turned around because Paul had the upper hand against Cabrera looking at the pitcher spot. He lost Cabrera, and that was a tough one to swallow, but even tougher now is the base hit by Correa. Still nobody out, and now at the top of the batting order.
Hastings Millage getting the ball in from left field. Millage, incidentally, with 6 outfield assists after throwing out Prince Fielder last night. He leads the team in that category. The team has 22 outfield assists.
And all of a sudden, with the last 2 batters, you're starting to think about damage control. Just 1 run up on the board, but the Padres have set up shop.
Jerry Hairston Jr. back up for the second time. He flied out to Tabata in center field, 0 for 1. Base is full. And he takes a strike. Kratz, backup catcher tonight. Last night he was behind the plate. And Prince Fielder may have taken liberties with him. I think even in hockey you wouldn't like that hit.
When you go straight with the forearms locked and
to right field, Delwyn Young will chase it down. Tagging from third is Salazar. It's 2-0 San Diego.
Boy, last night Prince Fielder coming in and just 2 big men just colliding, and look at who went down when you see the replay. Here comes Prince Fielder. Kratz is getting set, and Eric gets the ball early enough to set himself down. But boy, he takes a vicious shot. And Prince Fielder comes in with the forearms up, and just not only up, but then the extension of both hands, both arms, the forearms, and not the cleanest of plays. Let's put it that way. But Eric Kratz takes the high road and said, "Yep, well, you play hard."
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for hard play. I'm all for, if a guy is in the way, send him over the dugout, blast him. I mean, that's the base runner's prerogative at that point, to try to jar the ball loose. But I don't think you go for the face. I don't think you go for the head. I think that there's a little line there that Prince crossed.
You're right.
If you just hope in late August, when the Pirates go back to Milwaukee, it just doesn't carry over. That's enough, because there was so much stuff going on in that game last night.
Well, but it's been festering too. It's not like it started last night. There's been a little undercurrent between the 2 ball clubs, and a little attitude brought in by the Brewers, because they've been hit a bunch of times. I mean, enough is enough, whether it's intentional or not. So you kind of get a feel for why they came in a little feisty, but the history goes beyond last night.
3-1 to Denorfia. And that is a strike. Going in right at the knees.
By the way, I hope you had a chance to appreciate that camera work with that play at home plate, showing the hand on the plate, the glove missing. That is a great shot. Our camera guys are quite simply the best, and they get those kind of shots. So thanks, guys. That really is a definite, defining shot for the fans to see.
3-2 final, and I'm sure that Milwaukee, the umpire, will appreciate it as well when he sees it after the game.
What do they say? It am what it am. It is what it is.
Nice work, boys.
Thanks, guys.
And that's part of the game. These guys are humans, and they don't get them all right, but they do get a lot of them right.
Well, I'm a little prejudiced. I think our guys with the cameras are the best in the business.
Foul ball. Well, I was talking about the umpires. I do like the camera.
Well, they're the best in the business, too.
Watch out. Cabrera had to duck to get out of the way. Full count, 1 out. Runners at the corners, 2 runs in for San Diego here in the top half of the second inning. And that is going to be a base hit, maybe more. Cabrera with a duck what was left of the bat. He will come around to score. Pulling into second with an RBI double is Denorfia. It is now 3-0 San Diego. 5th double for Denorfia.
And just out in front, just kind of serves this ball, and that's all he's got left for the bat. Didn't get a lot of it, but he got enough. The ball finds its way inside the chalk, and the Padres keep it going.
Watch the bat. There's a piece of it in midair.
Followed by the ball.
Yeah, I mean, and the big chunk of the bat comes down near Everett Cabrera. Still 1 out. Second and third. Adrian Gonzalez. Thrown out to second by Jaramillo. Getting back in time is Denorfia. Mason Jaramillo making his first start since being recalled. He got here yesterday. Backed up Eric Kratz.
You got to be real careful with Adrian Gonzalez. I mean, he could put a charge into a ball and send this ball game somewhat out of control. You got an open base at first.
This one to left field. Going back, Millage. Had a late break on it. Millage makes the catch and scoring easily from third as the pitcher Correa. 4-0 Padres. RBI number 61 for Gonzalez.
I think it's pretty apparent now the ball is carrying. Hard outfielder is having some problems. Lystons goes back and stumbles, finds a way to stay with the catch. Didn't look too pretty after that.
So with 2 down, Scott Hairston is up for the second time in the ball game. He had a 2-out single in the first inning. The pitch. This is low.
So a quick 4 spot after the misplayed triple. A couple ways to look at that kind of situation. People might say, well, if they catch the ball in center field, who knows, it might be a 0 there, but that happened. So you can't do anything to change that. And you as a pitcher have to apply yourself to what goes on now, because you can't get that ball back. That man is at third base. It is not an out. Still have to do your job.
Houston gets out of the way. Now, I just had a thought, Steve. You know, the play at the plate involving Tabata, if he was called out when our cameras showed otherwise. It reminded me of something that happened to the Padres in 2007. In game number 163, they played the Colorado Rockies. Matt Holliday scored on a play just like that, and to this day, 9 out of 10 baseball fans surveyed say that he never touched home plate. Matt Holliday just kind of shrugs his shoulders. I asked Bud Black about that. I ran into him at a basketball game in San Diego a couple of years ago, and I said, you think Matt Holliday's touched home plate yet? He just looked at me and said, what do you think? And their backhanded play by Alvarez, scooped by Jones. A 28-pitch inning for Paul Maholm, and the Friars strike for 4. Inning here at PNC Park. If you're traveling this season, don't forget you can take the Pirates with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Pirates game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Pirates.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Like Paul Maholm, he got roughed up, but still has the presence and the good composure to go over and talk to his third base. I have no idea what that was, but you got to feel that Alvarez has got to appreciate his pitcher coming over and spend a little time, whatever the subject is.
Alvarez made a pretty good play and retiring Scott Hairston to end the inning. Hastings Millage fouls one away, right side. Alvarez on our AGH cam. That's the eyes to the baseball.
Now the choreography of a real fine 5-3 play. By the way, Correa has been a beneficiary of some wonderful support. He's ranked among the league leaders. He's getting over 6.5 runs of support per start, and he's well on his way. He's already got 4 tonight.
To third base, Salazar retires Millage. One down, the Pirates half of the second.
What starter wouldn't like 6.5 runs of support per start? You might have a chance to win 25 games.
Pretty much everyone. Jason Jaramillo trying to hit it big, and see how playing every day for a little while has helped his hitting as he gets to the plate for the first time tonight. Down to AAA Indianapolis, he was 6 out of 17 there, with 4 runs batted in and 5 games played. It's a .353 average. Sent down on the 12th of July. And the big leagues this year, 11 out of 67, or a .164 average. Switch hitter batting left. Fouls this one back, 1-1. Jason, pretty good defensive catcher, has shown that he does have a strong arm. And I think it was indicated when he threw down to second last inning. Runners at second and third. He lines one to center field, waiting for it to no field. 2 outs.
Kevin Correa, former Giant, as we said, did a little bit of everything for the Giants. Some starting, some work out of the bullpen, and then became a minor league free agent. The Padres picked him up, and they like what they've seen so far. As we said, 12 wins his first year in a Padre uniform last year.
Face Ronnie Cedeno.
Ted Simmons, former GM of the Pirates, former catcher for the Cardinals and other teams along the way. A lot of pitching against Ted.
Back in uniform. It is hot tonight. You need a fan. 91 degrees at game time. The sun is slowly out of the picture now as far as the ballpark is concerned. Still splashing along the Roberto Clemente Bridge out of the Allegheny. Line of the sun just at the top of the batter's eye. 2-2 now to Cedeno. Ronnie's hit safely in 9 of his last 12. And 9 of his last 14 hits have been extra base hits. The things about hitting, and it's kind of an age-old adage when you talk about hitting. Some guys start, other guys pick it up. It becomes contagious. And right here, making it out becomes contagious as the Pirates will go down in order in the bottom half of the second inning. Millage and Jaramillo, along with Cedeno, down in order. 4-0 Padres. Our AGH cam, absolutely outstanding, bringing you sights from the game that you wouldn't normally get to see. We appreciate AGH for their hard work and giving us and you the AGH cam. Top of the third, 4-0 San Diego with Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett. You're along for the ride tonight. Here's Jorge Torrealba, the catcher. Takes strike one. His hitting streak goes back to the 4th of July against Houston. 8 straight games. Hitting .433 with a home run and 7 RBIs over that time. Got his average up over the 300 mark in the process. Torrealba lined out to Walker his first time up. And he is now behind in the count, 1-2.
Well, we have a minute, Tim. Just want to give a shout out to Chuck Neal. He works out in stadium operations out by the garage area. I've known Chuck for a lot of years. He's done a lot of good things, and glad to see you're feeling a whole lot better, Chuck. Good man. Stop and see him and have a little conversation.
2-2. Padre catcher Jorge Torrealba, 2-2 pitch. Now it's 3-2 on the inside.
Doesn't look like it's kind of a pitcher's night for Bill Welke back to home plate to this point. As Paul Mahalan is getting ready to throw his 56th pitch in the top of the third.
Payoff. Lifted to shallow left center, and Jorge Torrealba now has a 9-game hitting streak.
You know, there's some nights where you can blister the ball and it's right at everybody. Line drives are being caught all over the place. Right now, Paul Mahalan is not in that category. Every little flare is dropping in. Everything down the line is getting down the line. So, gotta keep fighting it. Keep fighting it.
Leadoff single. Second straight inning. The leadoff man has been aboard. Cunningham, who led off the second, is back up there now. He had a triple. It was a line drive that could have been caught by Tabata, but the ball kept on carrying and rising, and Tabata misplayed it from an out into a triple. The ball ended up sailing over his head. Cunningham. Now ball one.
Anybody you talk to about playing center field, the line drive right at you is the toughest play to make. You don't know if it's got overspin, taking the ball down, or underspin, which helps the ball to keep on carrying. And had the underspin carried right up on over his head.
2-0. Aaron Cunningham lives in the Pacific Northwest in Orchard, Washington. Born in Anchorage, Alaska.
Paul is in a completely different place than he was last Sunday when he was just rolling along. This is it's a struggle right now. It can change within one at bat, but right now, he's scuffling.
Gets the strike there. I talked to Paul Sunday night. Said, congratulations on going 0 for 4. Because if you had 4 at bats, you're in the game.
You're in there for a while.
Yeah, it wasn't a knock on his hitting. He understood it and laughed about it. But he hasn't had his first at bat yet. He'll lead off in the bottom of the third. And Cunningham drills this one deep left center field. Millage makes the catch. Oh, he robbed him of a double. Highway robbery for Lastings Millage. He had a late break on it. And then some makeup speed and made the catch right by the track.
It's all about closing speed. I wonder if there's some communication between Millage and Tabata. All is well that ends well. This ball, a long ride toward the bullpen. The ball is just flying tonight. And nice job for Lastings to close on that ball. Torrealba has to retreat. Wisely going out by second base in case that ball is not caught. Got him.
And Torrealba in a rundown. Cedeno gets the tag out. So a leadoff single quickly turns into 2 outs and nobody on. Cedeno tagged him pretty hard, and I think he got him with a knee too. So Cedeno coming in to check on Torrealba.
Picks him off. 1, 3, and 6. Knee in the head. Watch that left knee. Bang. See these things up.
Ball pulled by Salazar. Over Torrealba is going to go down in a tunnel. And he's got Todd Hutchison with him, the trainer.
Oh, he did have the helmet on.
He's a catcher. Tough guy.
I guess the tough guys go down in the trainer anyway.
0-2 to Salazar. And now the pitch.
Teaser, tough pitch to take, but he does. Stays alive.
Salazar singled and scored in the second. Here's the 1-2.
You know, and maybe this is the kind of thing that can get you untracked as a pitcher. You're giving up some flares. You're behind 4-0 early to a good ball club. Then you get a kind of a bizarre catch, a good catch with the way it ended, and then you pick off a runner. So maybe that can clear the air for Paul. Let's hope it does.
Hall trying to turn it around here. Oscar Salazar with a 2-2 delivery. And he got him on the inside corner. Call, strike 3. Salazar has to sit down, and Mulholland gets out of that inning facing only 3 hitters. Good pitch by Paul Mulholland. He gets the strikeout. You look at our day automotive this day in Pirates history, July 23rd, 1930. Pie Traynor wins 2 games for the Pirates over the Phillies. Got the game-winning home run on the 9th. Pirates would win it 2-1. In Game 2, a 3-run home run in the 13th, and the Bucks would win a shootout, 16-15. Thanks to the folks at Day Automotive this day in Pirates history.
That might have been the longest day for the Pirates.
You got 2 games. Your second one goes 13, and it's a 16-15 game. Like Pye wanted to get out of there. Paul Mulholland starts things off here. His first at bat. Bottom of the 3rd. A 1 pitch. And Mahalam lines a base hit to left.
There you go, Paul.
It's his second hit of the season.
So many great stories about Pie Trainer. I'll try to be real quick, but when I first went to spring training as a young pitcher, take a look at this base hit by Paul. They would bring Pie Trainer down, and before we'd start the regular games, he would be the umpire and back of the pitcher for the inter-squad games. I was 19 years old, and he's saying to me, I come in to pitch an inning. This is a Hall of Famer. He said, pick up the pace, son. John Hallahan and I are going to be going to the track tonight. So, okay, Mr. Trainer. Just to be around a guy like that.
Davila takes a strike. Jose had a base hit in the first. Infield single.
Guys like George Sisler was around in those days. Sit by the batting cage in a lawn chair. Just terrified to throw batting practice when he's working with his hitters.
To the right side. Second for one, back to first. Double play, bang, bang at first.
And the strong arm of Cabrera. He's got a rocket.
Jerry Hairston started the double play. With Cabrera with the turn.
Check this throw out by the shortstop. High chop, not automatic, but there's the ball that outruns the runner.
Now Delwyn Young coming to the plate. With Cabrera. He's going to be one of those guys who'll be hitting eighth primarily. Lighter hitting shortstop, but boy, can he pick it in the field.
And those shortstops, so many times that they're not the biggest guy, but there are a lot of shortstops that have a gun for an arm. And put Cabrera in that category. And that was going to be a safe call at first base, but the ball just outran the runner.
Count even to Delwyn Young. Young walked in the first.
Shows you the pitching and defense rankings for the Padres in the National League. Second in pitching, first in defense. They're 14th in batting average.
Gonzalez. Toss to Correa covering. Pirates done in the third. We'll head to the fourth. 4-0. San Diego.
In Pittsburgh is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day.
Let's take a look at our AT&T trivia question. AT&T Mobility, Rethink Possible. The question is, which former Pirate won the National League Rookie of the Year while playing for the Padres? Steve's going into the memory banks. Cabrera bounces it back to Mahalam. One pitch and one away. And the Padre fourth. Any thoughts on that question?
I'm trying to make a withdrawal from the memory bank.
Now, if you open a new account at the memory bank, they'll give you a toaster. I want a hint?
No. When you buy a toaster now, they give you a bank.
Is that right? Yeah, I guess the times have changed. 1987.
Okay.
Kevin Correa had a base hit, drove in a run, and scored one himself in the second inning. Padre pitcher looks out, and Mahalo delivers a strike, 1-1.
Okay, give me the name and I'll put it all together.
Okay. Right after I go get a toaster. You don't need a toaster tonight. It's pretty toasty here anyway. Strike 2 to Correa. 29 years of age, Kevin Correa. As Steven mentioned earlier, originally with the Giants.
California State home guy. Native of San Diego.
2-2.
Paul kind of felt he might have picked up the inside corner there.
How do you turn the switch off when you feel you probably had a strike and don't get the call?
I was bad. I was a bad person with that stuff.
It throws him out 2 away.
I remember going to the umpire. I said, all right, Tom Gorman's there. Well, all right, Tom, where do you want it? What are you going to be happy with back there? He said, shut up and go back there. So, you know what I did? Shut up and went back there.
Paul engaged in a minor conversation there. But emotionally, you get a little revved up.
Well, yeah.
When you don't get a call you think you deserve.
Yeah, and then you start wondering, where have you got to throw it? Have I got to come way into that hitting area?
Jerry Hairston Jr., 0-1.
Part of a brother act with Scott and Jerry. Well, Bill Welke has got a brother, Tim, I think. He's a umpire.
Jerry Hairston behind, 0-2 now as Mulholland trying to make quick work of the Padres here in the fourth. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Pirates in the bottom of the inning. Walker, Jones, and Alvarez. A little bit too far inside, 1-2.
A majestic sight on the river. There's the Gateway Clipper Fleet. There's a star attraction down from the upper Allegheny going by the ballpark. Cruising down the river. Not up the river, down the river.
Good thing there's a cage down there. Sometimes the cage doesn't help. Sometimes it does. To be awake and alert. Right-handers pulling the ball, turning on it, as Hairston did right there. 1-2, 2 outs, nobody on. 4 runs on 6 hits for the Padres. No runs on 2 hits for the Buccos. All them ready to go. 1-2 to Hairston. That's a base hit. Jerry Hairston has his first hit of the game. 1 for 2. An early view of our Mazda in case you missed it. Cardinals shut out for the second straight game today. First time since September 24th and 25th. Cubs got him. It was 1995, by the way. Kurt Suzuki, new 4-year deal with the A's. Brian Roberts back in the Orioles lineup tonight. He's had a strained ab and has been out since the 9th of April. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Ty Wigginton, ejected by Gary Darling last night, suspended 3 games. I don't know if you've seen the video of that, Steve, but Ty was not exactly a gentleman about that.
Fit to be tied?
Yes. That's better. Juan Samuel, the acting manager, interim manager of the Orioles, also sent from that game.
Yeah, in reference to that collision last night, through the first, when Fielder took out Kratz, when we had Ty Wigginton here in this ball club, he took out 2 catchers. I mean, lumberjack style. I mean, he took them out. One of them, I think, had a bad leg injury and missed a lot of games. But I distinctly remember 2 collisions at home plate involving Ty Wigginton, and he did not pull back on the throttle at all. So apparently he did not pull back in the verbal throttle last night.
Apparently not. Two and 0 to Denorfia. 2 outs, 1 aboard. And the throw, Hairston just gets back.
Alex Rodriguez closing in on home run number 600. We made a note of that last night.
There's a chopper towards short. Cedeno tossing to Walker, forcing Hairston at second base. And a good inning for Paul Mulholland. Going to the bottom of the 4th, and we come back. We asked him last night if he thought the play at the plate involving Prince Fielder was a dirty play.
No, I didn't feel like it was. I felt like, if I'm coming in and he's catching, or any other catcher's coming in there, you're not going to go in there and try to hit a guy, in the chest. You're going to try to hit him where the glove is. My glove was up in this region up here, and so he came in hard, and it was an emotional game. So was it a little high? Maybe. But it wasn't. I didn't take any offense to it. He came in hard, and he tried to knock the ball out.
Well, that's certainly taking the high road. It really is. And, the more we see of Erik Kratz, the more we expect that high road take from him.
Prince Fielder took the high road with his fist last night in his forearm. But, and I agree with the hard play, going in to the plate hard. I think you've got to play this game hard, and it's a physical game at home plate. I just think there's a way to do it and a way not to do it, but that's a matter of opinion. I mean, there are others who probably thought, hey, that was the greatest play in the world last night, and others who disagreed with that.
I kind of thought, somewhere in between. I thought it was higher than it needed to be. I didn't think it was crazy out of line.
2-1 to Neil Walker. Lined out to deep right center, first time up.
And the Pirates need to get something going offensively. The surge has hiccuped a little bit after all that offense. Just a couple runs last night. Not much happening tonight. In fact, nothing so far. Just a couple hits for the Pirates for the first 3 innings.
That's ball 4, and the Pirates have a base runner.
Yeah, let's take it back to Ty Wigginton when he was a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Coy Hill catching Arizona. He gives him a real good shot. Here it is from the other angle. I mean, that's a bang.
Ouch.
Yeah, I got cut. He likes that kind of action. Molina, 0-4. Powell, and that is a direct hit, and that's a stunner right there. Now, was that a high hit? Oh, Molina's not all that tall, so
He went right into him, straight into him, and that's fine. Go straight into a guy like that, you can knock him over the dugout. That's part of the game. Good hard baseball. Garrett Jones looking to connect here. And he does to center field. And this ball is going to be caught on the track. Terrific over-the-shoulder catch by D'Onofrio.
Stayed with that line drive. Tracked it down, and that hurts the Pirates. The leadoff walk. Ball hit right on the button.
D'Onofrio with it all the way. D'Onofrio's been a good guy as far as roaming the outfield for the Padres. Covers a lot of ground.
He's got one of those big old gloves too. There are not too many outfielders that don't have the big leather. Lots of leather in those gloves.
Alvarez. That was it. Foul. Strike one. Take a look at our Barrel Automotive league leaders, National League rookies. Pedro Alvarez in July with 7. Buster Posey, the Giants, also with 7 home runs. Jason Hayward, who made the All-Star team, by the way, had 6 in April. Tyler Colvin of the Cubs had 5 in June.
Love to see Pedro cut this thing right in half, this lead.
Still a lot of time left in July. Today being just the 23rd, so another week left.
Yeah, we told you Kevin Correa has given up a bunch of home runs in 18 starts. 15 long balls hit off him.
Pedro's used to seeing balls away. He's been pitched away by right-handed hitters. Right-handed pitchers, rather. Time they came inside, but low, 2-1. Lefties have used a lot of breaking balls away to try to get Pedro to chase. So he's seen a lot of pitches on the outer half and beyond from right-handers and left-handers. They come inside, he's able to turn on them and hit them a long way. Toward the middle, Cabrera. Take that one. He throws it away. Down to third goes Walker, and over to second, Alvarez.
And that strong arm we were talking about from Cabrera turns ugly for him as he just guns it and almost kind of handcuffs Gonzalez over his head, and the Pirates get a break. Instead of 2 outs and a man on second, they've still got 1 out runners on second and third. They award a base hit. Thank you very much. I'm happy that Pedro gets it, but you know, Pedro doesn't have blinding speed. So he'll take it. We'll take it.
We'll take the
hit.
We go. Lastings Milledge. Runners in scoring position. He has been about as close as you can be to automatic with runners in scoring position. Third in the league with a .379 average.
Just been dynamite in these situations.
And he comes through again. Walker's going to score. Alvarez coming in right behind him. A 2-run single by Milledge. Thrillage at PNC Park. Pirates have cut the lead in half. It's 4-2.
Yeah, we're hoping Jones would hit it over the fence for a 2-run shot to cut it in half, but we'll cut it in half no matter how you slice it. He has been scary with men in scoring position. Scary good.
Alvarez with a good jump off second, scored easily. That's a 1/2 of a high five from long distance.
You just wonder. I'm keeping an eye on Milledge. He'll run every once in a while. He's got a decent lead, and they're watching him. You know, right after those kind of things happen, and you have some excitement. You know, you might get a pitcher that's still reacting emotionally to that base hit. Once in a while, you can find a guy that's a little careless and run on him.
Armio to second base. Hairston flips on to Cabrera for one, back to first. That's a double play. Pirates get two back. 2 hits and a 2-run single by Lastings Milledge. Padres 4, Pirates 2. He continues to torment opponents with runners in scoring position. Lastings Milledge, third best average in the National League. And the Pirates are on the board, and Safe Auto Insurance reminds you you're safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for its prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure.
Now the Pirates very much back in this thing. Remember back in the third inning, after having a very difficult second, Paul Mulholland gave up a base hit to start the inning, and then there was a awkward catch, a pickoff, and a strikeout. And we were talking about turning the corner. Well, Paul Mulholland has a chance to just go deeper into this ballgame, so he's back in it. And hope maybe he got that bad faucet turned off in the third inning, and he can cruise for a little bit. Back in the ballgame, 4-2 Padres here in the fifth.
2-0 to Gonzalez. The shift is on for Adrian. Walker out there in right field, short right field, with Alvarez over near second base. Going to left field, right at Milledge. One down.
Well, conceivably, here's the setup you got. The third, fourth, fifth hitters in any major league lineup are tough. You're in the fifth inning, you can get them out 1, 2, 3, or with no damage in and around them, go down to the bottom of the order. So you've gotten on the other side of the fifth and maybe the sixth inning. It jumps you into the seventh. I don't know if you're going to stay around that long because of the pitch count, but that's the thing sometimes you look at. Get on the other side of the heart of the batting order. Maybe you can have a little breather inning and get your 6 innings in.
Now Paul will face Scott Hairston. Hairston 1 for 2. Broadway left fielder takes inside, ball 1. Well, the Yankees playing Kansas City tonight. Alex Rodriguez going for a milestone. Hairston lifts this one down the left field side. Milledge runs, but it's in the seats. And he is 1 out of 2 tonight. A-Rod is sitting on 599 home runs. So the A-Rod watch is on. See when he becomes, not if, but when, and how soon he becomes a member of the 600 club. Now looks like they've got some rain. 4-0 Yankees. Cedeno charges. He throws out Scott Hairston. There are now 2 down in the top half of the fifth. I think A-Rod's going to pass Bonds.
30, 38 now, 35.
He's going to stick around. He's been playing for a while.
I mean, they're not going to have any tag sales for him. You know, he doesn't have to stay around financially.
Over Torrealba takes ball one. You just saw the Duchess going by. We have the best view in all of baseball from up here. There's not even a close second. There are some nice places. I mean, I like San Francisco's view. It's very nice, but this view is the best.
That's the way it's ranked.
Nice to have an office with a good view, huh?
Yep. I just think it's so neat on the other end of the Clemente Bridge, the Renaissance Hotel, which was a former bank and a former nightclub called Heaven. It was very popular back in the day. And the archway. Yeah, check that out. Hold it right there if we can. How about this? Well, how about that?
That's strike three. Gets away. Jaramillo jumps on it, throws him out. Strikeout 2-3 to put out. Hold that thought, Steve.
I will.
3 up and 3 down is Mahalam.
There it is, the Renaissance.
Gets them in order. Pirates hoping to have a renaissance offensively.
Almost there.
4-2 score, trailing San Diego.
They're almost there. I know the answer to this, by the way.
We gave you our AT&T Mobility trivia question a little while ago. Which former Pirate won the National League Rookie of the Year while playing for the Padres?
Jimmy Pearsall.
No. 1987, Benito Santiago.
I did watch Fear Strikes Out again last week. It's an unbelievably bad movie.
Cedeno tries to bunt his way on, and that is strike one. What's so bad about the movie?
I think Anthony Perkins, who played Jimmy Pearsall, is a left-handed person, and he was trying to throw right-handed.
Right. But every time you see Anthony Perkins, don't you just...
Oh, the Bates Motel.
Think of him as Norman Bates?
Yeah, he's got Mom downstairs.
Cedeno bangs a single to left center, and it might be more. He's going for two. And Ronnie Cedeno is in with a leadoff double.
Caught the gap on the ground. A little skitter. It's out close to the warning track. And Alfrea finally cuts it off. And this ball was hit hard. That's one of those like 3-irons right over the shortstop's head. And good roll.
Big part of the bat on the ball and hit it to the big part of the field.
Oh, do it again, Paul. Mahalam on one-game hitting streak. Maybe did he get one last game? One game straight then.
17 doubles for Cedeno, and 10 of his last 15 hits have been extra base hits. So good work for Ronnie.
Paul Mulholland tried to move him over to third base, get him in a third base with 1 out situation.
Both corner infielders are in. And the 1-0. Mulholland pulls back. 2 balls and no strikes.
The bonus this would be if Correa ran into a little bout of wildness.
2 balls, no strikes. Mulholland trying to move Cedeno over. And once that one foul. Pirates 3 with the Padres, 2 more after tonight, and then a day off Monday. And then out on the road again to take on Colorado for 3 in Denver, and then over to St. Louis for the first time this season to take on the Cardinals. And who knows whether or not the Cardinals will have a new pitcher in their rotation by the time the Pirates get there.
Get away.
Another chance for Torrealba. Some of the chatter you're hearing about Roy Oswalt involves perhaps the Phillies, but maybe even the Cardinals might pick up Roy O from Houston. Nationals exercised the option for Jim Riggleman for 2011, so he'll be back in the dugout as the skipper. Some news today. Mulholland with a 2-2 count. Cedeno off of second base. He'll square again. And he pulls it back. A little butcher boy right out in front of the plate. And the job is done. And third goes Cedeno.
Well, before you guys head out to Colorado, looking forward to being out at Fox Chapel for the Pirates charity golf outing. As you watch Paul pull the bat back and get the bun effect anyway. Annual event for Pirate Charities. Have a great turnout. Looking forward to that before the troops head out to Denver.
That'll be a great day. A lot of fun last year. Looking forward to it again this year.
Pick up this run, you're within 1. I think that's how the math works. The Padres are going to give the Pirates this run. They'll trade it for an out. Except for Salazar kind of even with third base, and Gonzalez did a little ground at first. Shortstop, second baseman playing back.
Tabata trying to get a run in. 1 to Jose.
Correa has had his share of strikeouts coming into the game, 98 innings, 82 strikeouts, but has not recorded one so far tonight. I mentioned that because you do want contact here. Move Cedeno across home plate, get to within 1. That'll do it.
That'll get a run in. Piece of hitting by Tabata. Cedeno comes across. It's now a 1-run ball game at 4-3.
Cash in the leadoff double. It's a good thing.
Get him on, get him over, get him in. That's what the Pirates have done here in the bottom half of the 5th. RBI number 13 for Jose Tabata. That's when just grounding out to short is a good thing. Infield was playing back. They were conceding the run. The Padres were. So a very purposeful out by Jose Tabata. First pitch to Delwyn Young. DY takes high, ball 1.
Good turnout on a Friday night here at the Yard on the North Shore, and tomorrow it is going to be busy business. This place is going to be packed. Pirates and Padres, Steve Miller Band.
I was down in the Padres dugout for a while before the game, visiting with manager Bud Black, and a big part of the conversation was whether or not he was going to stay tomorrow and watch the concert. And
he got a front row seat, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was asking. He was trying to predict what the first song would be. Big Steve Miller Band fan.
Well, magic, abracadabra, maybe some magic involved.
He thought that. He thought Jet Airliner at first, then he changed his mind to abracadabra.
You usually want to kind of save one of the big ones for the finale.
It'll be a lot of fun tomorrow night, no doubt. 2-0. 3 balls and no strikes. Delwyn Young representing the tying run. With 2 outs in the bottom half of the 5th. Nobody on. Walker on deck. 1 run is in. Leadoff double by Cedeno. Mahala moved him over. Tabata got him in. And that is ball 4. And now the tying run is aboard here in the 5th. And tomorrow night, 7:05 first pitch, Padres and Bucks, and afterward rock legend Steve Miller Band. Abracadabra, Fly Like an Eagle, many more. A few great seats still remain, and if you want to scoop those up, visit Pirates.com. You can do them from there. So tomorrow night, Greg Brown and Bob Walk will be there during the game, calling the game from behind left field of the Trib Total Media Hall of Fame Club.
What's that? Different look.
There they are. They've got all the air cooling apparatus. Or apparata, I guess it would be. They got all the fans over there.
Well, they're going to have the fans kind of cordoned off to keep them away from the superstars when they get out there.
Lots of security. Lots of guys with dark sunglasses and earpieces around.
Well, the agents for both Bob and Greg have insisted on that. Respective agents.
Secret agents.
Jesse James, Greg's agent.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe he'll be out there. He's texting his colleagues, letting them know all about it. Secret message. There's Neil Walker deep to left field, but waiting for it is Scott Hairston. And that does it. Pirates put another one on in the 5th and come a run closer. We'll head to the 6th. Padres 4, Buccos 3. The Kids Day at the ballpark. Family Fun Zone pregame on Federal Street. Kids get to run the bases postgame thanks to HK Pretzels. And all kids 14 and under will receive that right there. Kids Pierogi Character Cup with the straw. Courtesy of Mrs. T's Pierogies. There's a Tabata showing it off. I'm sure he's got his cup already. To get tickets for the Sunday Kids Day game, visit Pirates.com. Big giveaway for the kids on Sunday. That'll be the final game of this 10-game homestand. Here's Aaron Cunningham. Right fielder. To the left side. A diving stop by Alvarez. He didn't get it. Oh, looked pretty close. Nice effort by Pedro Alvarez, but Cunningham aboard on an infield single.
Just so difficult to get up quickly when you're kind of sprawled after he got the glove on the ball right there. Now it just takes a while to get back up, but all kind of effort by Pedro. He did everything he possibly could. Cunningham winds up beating it out off the heel of the glove, then secured. Now the hard work starts, getting back up and throwing in time.
Well, you really saw the action of the ball in the glove, bouncing off the heel into the webbing in the AGH can. 4-3 Padres, top of the 6th, one on, nobody out. And breaking ball is in there for a strike to the third baseman, Oscar Salazar.
So for Paul Mahalam, really good work. He had one stumble, but it was kind of down a flight of stairs in the fourth or in the second inning when they scored 4. Other than that, a bunch of zeros, and he certainly has done his part in keeping his ball club in the game to this point.
That's a swing.
A hesitant swing. A swing without conviction.
Nothing in 2 to Salazar. Padres had a 4-0 lead. Pirates have crawled back in. And let's say hey to the Rock. John Wayner broke his foot last night.
Broke his foot?
Broke his foot.
How did he break his foot?
He was jogging.
See, there it is.
Herb.
There it is. That exercise again.
Yep.
It's a trap. Absolute trap.
You're not a big fan of that, are you?
A broken foot? No.
I was talking about exercise.
That too.
Can of corn for Millage. On the way. Yeah, so he shows up at the ballpark today. He's walking around in a boot. And
sorry to hear that, John.
so he said he guaranteed he'd be at the golf tournament Monday, but he'll be driving a cart.
Another Pittsburgh kid. Walker's doing just fine. Thought about exercising the other day, and I sat down till the thought went away, and I'm just fine.
Worked out for you then. Are thinking about exercise and actually exercising the same thing for you? Same result?
Same result. Yeah.
Herrera takes strike 1. Look at the gap in left center field. Tomlin playing way over in right center. Delwyn Young off the line some in right. And Millage alone in left field. Big
acreage. Acreage.
Such a big outfield here at PNC Park to cover. Back safely is Cunningham.
That's a quick move by Paul. Torriello, they call that a caught stealing or straight pickoff?
It's usually called a caught stealing.
Nonsense.
I know you don't like it.
I hate it.
Basically, it's a disadvantage to the pitcher's number.
And I watched that particular play. The guy was going nowhere. I mean, he made a false move. It stopped. Didn't look like a serious attempt at a stolen base. Even if it was, it picked him off. Isn't it caught stealing credited to the catcher?
Yes, it is.
And the catcher's not involved?
Caught stealing. Well, no, he wouldn't be involved because the way the put out went, it went 3-6. If it went 2-4 or 2-6.
I understand that. Caught stealing.
I know. So, commissioner for a day, that's on your list of things to.
Well, that's down the list. I got some serious things.
First, Cunningham back again. All right, what's the first thing?
All-day games in the World Series.
TV networks would not be your friend.
The World Series was made to be played on October afternoons. Televise it.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but now it's played on November nights.
It's a shame. We started here in Pittsburgh, first World Series night game. And that used to be part of autumn. That's how you grew up. You know, you run home after school, catch the last 3 innings on television or radio. And
now the kids catch the first 3 innings and go to bed.
Yeah, it's a 4-hour game that starts at 9 o'clock. Trying to sell a game to the kids? Come on.
See, now remember when you used to hide your transistor radio under the pillow? Now they've got the iPhones and the other kinds of devices, and they've got those.
I had magazines. I didn't have the transistor. Yeah, I did. Used to listen to Mel Allen.
Way back then, would you have a Morse code machine on the other side?
Mel Allen, Jim Woods, Les Kiter, in the Yankee games. I can handle that software.
Yeah, you can.
5s and 10s and 20s. Sure.
You're getting wired for wireless, aren't you? Pitch outside. Count full 3-2. Everett Cabrera, a full count on it. Walked and scored in the second inning. Grounded back to Mulholland in the fourth. 0-for-1. Pitcher Kevin Correa waiting his turn on deck. Mulholland with a little ground ball here, but Cunningham may be on the move. 1 out. And a payoff pitch coming from Mulholland. And Cunningham doesn't go anywhere. Ground ball left side through. That's a base hit. First hit of the night for Cabrera. Now 2 on with 1 out. Pirates fans, you can take advantage of a special ticket offer for Sunday's game against the Padres. Simply text Sunday to 61592 for a special offer. Again, it's text Sunday to 61592. Grab your cell phone and act right now. I know Steve's doing it as we speak. He's got his cell phone out. He's figured out how to text. I've got the iPad here. I'm going to do it on this. He's got the only cell phone with rotary dialing on it. It's this way, Steve.
It doesn't work. Nothing lit up.
Isn't that one of those phones you just talk into and say, hey, Mabel, I want...
Give me some distance. That's all.
See, everybody understands the technology. I should say most everybody. Correa bunts it. Mulholland will go to first. Sacrifice moves 2 runners over. Cunningham down to third base, and Everett Cabrera into second. 2 men are out. And a sacrifice by Kevin Correa.
Okay, now you come to another one of those issues where you got a 4-3 ball game. We're well down the trail in this game. An out here is huge for the Pirates. A base hit here is huge for the Padres. So, a little drama here in the top of the 6th is up for grabs.
Jerry Hairston Jr., the hitter. The Padres have turned the order over back to the top. And he has driven in a run with a sacrifice fly. Flied out. He got a base hit and was forced out at second base. So 1 hit in 2 trips officially for Jerry Hairston Jr. The right-handed hitter facing the lefty Paul Mulholland here in the top half of the 6th. Pirates trailing by a run, trying to keep it that way until they get to the plate. Garrett Jones will lead off in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Mulholland now over 100 pitches. So action in the Pirates bullpen now. Get a good look.
He would love perhaps to exit, if that's going to happen, with a huge out here. Huge out.
It's a strike. Jason take a tumble here. Hairston got him with a bat, huh? Oh, yeah.
No protection back there in the shoulder blade.
Well, as a hitter, you know you're getting full extension when you can reach all the way around that way and hit the catcher.
Many times they'll get it in the helmet with that follow through.
Two catchers commiserating there.
You know what? They're just why? They're just saying why do these things happen? Just missing that breaking ball. Bowman and Kratz trying to figure out how to not let that happen again. But
Sometimes it's the nature of the game. You're going to get hit with bats. You're going to get hit with baseballs. 1-1. High in the air to left. Going back, Millage.
Good job.
See you. Hastings Millage retiring Jerry Hairston Jr. And Mahalam gets through 6 innings. It's a 1-run ball game at PNC Park.
First inning, chopper to Gonzalez. It comes home to Torrealba. Tag, is it made? Is the out called? The out called, they're saying he missed home plate. Well, au contraire, right there. He's safe. Should have been a run for the Pirates. That's tonight's freeze can. Brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
And we'll see if that run comes into play in the outcome of this one. Pirates trailing by that run. 1 run. 4-3 as we go to the bottom half of the 6th. And Chase Headley is now in playing third base for San Diego, placing Oscar Salazar.
Joe Kerrigan was on the phone in between innings. There's only one entity that answers that. That's the Pirate bullpen. So we'll see if Paul Mahalan is done for the evening. He's up over that 100 pitch count. Paul kept it together. Got away in the 2nd inning, but 4 more zeros. That's a workmanlike job for Paul Mahalan.
DJ Carrasco had been throwing. Strike 2 to Jones. Jones has hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games. He is 0 for 2 tonight. And Jones, one of the leaders in multi-hit games in the National League with 32. Kevin Correa ready to go. Here is the 1-2 pitch.
Let's get back to Paul Mahalan. Just 1-2-3 inning for Paul. Had that very tough 2nd inning, out of sync and a little shaky the first couple innings, but he put zeros up on the board. Sometimes it's not easy. It was easy last Sunday, not easy tonight, but he did his job. 6 serviceable innings for the Pirates. 1 slip kept him in the game.
Outside 2-2.
He deserves to be off the hook at least, and get him a couple runs here, get him a win.
Jones trying to get something going for the Pirates, get that tying run aboard. Fouls off the 2-2 pitch. Very nice to see one of our colleagues back, Bob Uecker, as he returns from a 3-month absence after heart surgery. And rejoined the Brewers radio booth tonight at home.
Good to see Mr. Belvedere back.
He is funny.
Garrett Jones working on each other here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, there he is, Dave Wannstedt sitting behind home plate tonight. Pitt's head football coach.
Going to be heading out to Utah. Get it underway. Pitt opens up their gridiron season. Good luck to Dave and the Panthers.
2-2 pitch. And Jones hits it to Gonzalez. He'll take it himself. And there is one down as Jones grounds out. This week's Slippery Rock University Teaching You the Game segment. Pirates hitting coach Don Long schools us on the value of the hitting drill in the big leagues.
Young player, even guys at our level, the major league levels, they really use their eyes to track the ball from point of release all the way to point of contact. And ideally,
you can catch the entire tip on Sunday's Trip Total Media Pirates pregame show beginning at 1 o'clock right here on FSN Pittsburgh. Here's Don. Don's out of the Seattle, Washington area. There are times during the offseason where we'll have players visit him, work out at the facility up there, and work on their hitting in the winter. There's Pedro. El Toro batting with one out, 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Two-pick overall in 2008 out of Vanderbilt. And he takes a strike 2-1. I asked him yesterday in the clubhouse about whether or not in his lifetime of playing baseball he's ever had 2 days back-to-back where he's had multi-homer days. He said, well, I had a crazy week once at Vanderbilt. He said, I had 11 home runs in 10 days.
Hello.
That's pretty good. Yeah, this one, bang to right, a base hit. Second hit of the night. And the Pirates have the tying run aboard with Lastings Milledge walking to the plate. Pedro Alvarez now 2 out of 3.
And what you want to see is the base hits that come in between the power displays, because you don't want him swinging for the fences all the time. He's going to have to take his base hits. He's going to have to take what major league pitchers give him a good percentage of the time. He'll get his pitches to drive, but you're going to need to take his base hits also. It's a good thing. A couple knocks. He'll live to see another day where he hits it over the fence.
Pedro's average up over 250 now. And Milledge, who drove into with a single last time, takes ball one high. RBI's 31 and 32 on his base hit in the 4th inning that scored Walker and Jones. Walker and Alvarez, beg your pardon. Jones had fly out. Lastings Milledge represented Bradenton, Florida in the Little League World Series when he was 12 years old. One-0 pitch on the way. It's 2-0.
Those are some talented kids that get to that level. It's unbelievable to watch them. You got to be careful how you say this day and age, but they play beyond their age because there have been some age issues at different times. But 99% of those kids are just talented.
3-0 now to Milledge. Well, you live in a place like Florida, you can play year-round too, so you have an advantage over kids who may live in the Northeast. At certain times of your life, when you're playing all the time, and Lastings was a very good athlete as a kid, played multiple sports, including football. And he takes a strike, backed out of there. It's called a strike, 3-1.
Maybe a little up, maybe a little in, but he gets the call.
Popped up. Playable. Gonzalez in fair ground. 2 down. Jason Jaramillo. Another crack at it. He's 0 for 2, lined out to center, and then hit into an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play in the fourth.
Don't you think Adrian Gonzalez would pick up that piece of paper? The ground ball comes there and he gets confused with white paper. Or the ball hits the paper and gets tied up, and then he picks up the napkin with the ball in it. And there's all kind of bad things that could happen.
Well, I don't know, but my guess is he would go after the one that's moving fastest. When you played in San Francisco, when the stadium was configured differently, you played at the old Candlestick, and there was nothing in the outfield at that point in time. The wind coming in off the bay. How about then all the trash and debris that flew around?
Circled around the entire warning track and back of home plate, all over the place. Then you get the balls by William McCovey going out into the bay. You got that to deal with. The story still remains that when they took the engineers and architects off to Candlestick Point, they took them out at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's gorgeous. The wind starts blowing at 1. Got it built, start playing 1 o'clock games.
Inside to Jaramillo. 2 balls and a strike.
It was not much fun pitching against the Mazes and the McCoveys and the Cepedas and the Jim Ray Harts, all those guys out there. And then you get Mr. Marichal and Mr. Gaylord Perry, Frank Lindsay and company.
And a strike on the corner, 2-2.
And just a barely utility rest area in the corner of the dugout.
Plus, your clubhouse was way out in the outfield.
Yeah, you got to go down the right field line unless you want to go through the Giants dugout. It was interesting, but everybody loved to go to San Francisco.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch to Jaramillo is bang foul. Well, the 49ers would play football there in the fall. Of course, the weather was nice. The weather in San Francisco in the fall is beautiful for football. But as Mark Twain once wrote, the coldest winter he ever spent was a summer in San Francisco, and he must have been at Candlestick Point. O'Neill hanging in there with 2 strikes.
You know, back in the day, you couldn't get Coors products east of the Mississippi, so when you went to San Francisco, before each getaway day, there were cases and cases of Coors products that would come back on the charter. So we'll plug for our sponsor, but that is the truth. It was a big factor, and it was a treat when you got it back here. So this is the Coors Light 6th inning. I guess that applies.
Our proposed story. 3-2. Count full, so the runner Alvarez will be off with the pitch now from Kevin Correa. We're in the bottom of the 6th of the Coors Light 6th inning. 4-3 Padres. Tying run is Pedro Alvarez. He had a 1-out single.
We told you as the game was starting that the Padres bullpen is ranked #1 in the National League.
There goes the runner, and the ball toward the middle, and that's going to be picked up by Cabrera, who takes a hit away from Jaramillo. Boy, Everett Cabrera can cover some ground, and he gunned it over to the first base bag to end the inning for the Pirates. Normally this one a base hit up the middle, but Cabrera, great range. Tip your cap to him. Good play by the Padres shortstop. Connection tonight focuses on Alex Presley, a 13-game hitting streak snapped last night for Indy. During that time, 23 out of 50, 4 doubles, 4 runs batted in. He scored 10 times. And this season, 346 the average. That's 8th best in all of minor league baseball. 93 games. Alex Presley doing an outstanding job at AAA.
New pitcher for the Pirates, Paul Mahalam's night is done. Brendan Donnelly coming on for Paul. He went 6 innings, giving up 4 runs. You take a look at the numbers for Brendan. 38th appearance, 28 strikeouts in his 30-plus innings. Trying to keep it a 1-run contest as we have finished 2/3 of this ball game.
Donnelly's job is to get 2, 3, and 4 out. Here's Denorfia, the center fielder, facing Brendan Donnelly. Also made part of his living in Southern California for a while with the Angels. And Donnelly's pitch, missing low ball 1 ball, no strikes. Denorfia had a double, scoring a run in the second inning. That was his 19th run batted in. 1-0 pitch. And that one's outside.
Let's finish up the line on Paul. As we said, 6 innings, 4 runs earned. 9 hits. He walked a couple, struck out a couple. 1 bad inning. That was inning number 2. That was the 4 spot. That's what the Padres have.
Mahalam hopes those guys can get him off the hook. And again, Donnelly missing. And he might be in that mode, Steve, that we were talking about a couple of innings ago, trying to figure out what the home plate umpire is looking for. And again, he came in a little low, but trying to come in about knee high. And has missed with his first 3 offerings.
Coming for that 4.
Leadoff walk issued by Brendan Donnelly. First batter he faces. Well, baseball fans, FSN invites you to win with Flynn's during their giant tent sale going on right now. Just visit FSNinsider.com and register for your chance to win 4 Yokohama tires from Flynn's Tire and Auto Service. Sign up at FSNinsider.com. You can win with Flynn's.
You're in with Flynn when you win.
Shift on with a man aboard. And runner takes off. Jaramillo throws down, and that's into center field. Denorfia heading over to third base, and things becoming unraveled rather quickly here in the top half of the 7th. Stolen base number 4 for Denorfia.
And a huge jump. And then the error, throwing error charge to Jaramillo. This is exactly what you do not want when you're down 1 and you're looking down the barrel at a terrific bullpen.
Pretty tough customer at the plate right now, Adrian Gonzalez. Infield now playing halfway. They've abandoned the shift now with a runner at third. Denorfia down there at third base after the leadoff walk. Gonzalez 0 for 1 with the walk and a sacrifice fly and a run batted in.
And Brendan yet to throw a strike.
6 straight balls thrown by Brendan Donnelly to start things here in the 7th. Make it 7th.
Adrian Gonzalez is one of those power hitters that doesn't rack up those big strikeout numbers. I mean, he gets his share, but he's not up around some of the big number guys. So comparatively good contact compared to a lot of other power guys.
That's a strike there.
And gets the Bronx chair.
Now Donnelly ready, 3-1. See if he can come back here on Adrian Gonzalez. ball 4. So he has walked the first 2 men he's faced, and Donnelly not in form tonight. John Russell talking to Brad Henderson, the trainer.
And they want to buy a little bit more time. That prompts the trip by Joe out to the mound.
The infield comes in and visits as well. So nobody out, 2 on. 2 walks issued by Brendan Donnelly to start this inning.
Garrett Jones not on the A list in terms of invitations. He's over at first base.
DJ Carrasco emerging from behind the pole there. Second time he has been up in the ball game. Now Scott Hairston, 1 for 3 tonight, singled back in the first, grounded out twice to the left side of the infield. Denorfia is the runner at third, Adrian Gonzalez at first. Middle infield playing for 2 in a 1-run ball game here. Alvarez playing close to the bag and even with it at third base. There's your infield alignment. Outfield pretty much straight up. So no, Donnelly really struggling to find a strike. John Russell obviously concerned at this stage. If Donnelly should walk the bases full, Torrealba would be next. That's 3-0. Now Cedeno will come in. Trying to figure it out. Scott Hairston with 2 on and nobody out can be patient with this pitch. It's ball 4, and Donnelly has walked the bases full, and John Russell's coming out to get him. Well, Brendan Donnelly's had some very big innings for the Pirates this year. Very good innings. And this is one he'll try to forget. As he comes in, faces 3 men, walks them all. So the base is full of bad guys with nobody out. And the top of the 7th inning, and DJ Carrasco is going to be called upon from the bullpen. Our Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen has been made. 4-3, Padres with the lead.
Exchange with Paul Mahalan. saying to Paul, I'm sorry to let this one get away like this. We're in 1 run, and now there's a mess. So DJ Carrasco comes in to try to clean up this mess.
Well, tough spot for Carrasco. He inherits these 3 runners with nobody out in a 1-run ball game in the 7th. And he will face Jorvit Torrealba. Torrealba, the catcher, a 9-game hitting streak. First time all year a pitcher has walked the bases full. Torrealba, a little dribbler. Alvarez got to come home. They get the force.
What a play.
Terrific play by Pedro Alvarez.
What a play. Picking it up on the move, barehanded. The only play he had was the home plate, and he did it. He got it done. Terrific, terrific work. Got a runner involved coming in. He's got to throw it on this side of the runner. He did everything right.
Look at the AGH cam. That's going to give you a really good look. That's a great play by Pedro Alvarez.
Pickup was good. I thought the throw was even better because the runner was bearing down on Jaramillo. Jason holds his ground nicely. That's a pretty looking play. Pretty even by the AGH camera.
The 1-out base is full. Will Venable is the pinch hitter, batting for Cunningham. And he takes ball 1, 1-0. I just get a ground ball in the middle, clean it up.
That's it. Simple as that.
If it was as simple as that, it would be a good thing. But it's certainly a possibility here. 1-0 pitch. And Venable hits it up in the air to center field, going back Tabata. They're going to make the catch. And tagging from third and scoring is Gonzalez. It's now a 2-run game. That run charged to Donnelly. 2 men out, 1 run in, 5-3 San Diego. Chase Headley coming up for the first time today. Headley replaced Oscar Salazar in the field last inning. Now comes up to the plate. All Brendan Donnelly can do is watch. Let's see if DJ Carrasco can get out of this inning, giving up just the 1 run. Considering how the inning began, that wouldn't be too bad.
At this stage, darn right.
Pitch to Headley. There's a strike on the inside corner. Headley, a switch hitter. 271 is his average. Ernesto Frieri warming up. He was up earlier when Padres had double barrel action, and he's going himself. Strike 2.
I certainly can commiserate with Brendan Donnelly. I've been there, done that. Unfortunately, it's not a good feeling at all. You throw the baseball and it doesn't go where you want it to. It's not much fun being out there in the middle. Nobody can help you.
No place to hide on the mound.
No, and nobody can help you when you're missing home plate.
Here is the 0-2 from Carrasco. 1-2. Veteran Brendan Donnelly, and he's had some very good innings this year. Exceptional. And he's not had an inning like he just had. Not had an outing, I should say. Not an inning, but an outing. 1-2. That's right, 2-2. And Donnelly did not get an out. Walked 3. And is responsible for Hairston down at third. Carrasco responsible for the man at first. Ball out of play. And Chase Headley. They'll get another. Pirates will play the Padres again next month. 10th, 11th, and 12th of August in San Diego. We'll return the home series. 2-2. A broken bat roller past Jones. Carrasco's going to have to cover. Walker gets it there. The play by Carrasco to speed over to the bag and cover. And only one run comes in. The Pirates do indeed get out of it cheaply after Donnelly walks the first three.
It's all DJ. Oh, wow. That's three.
Toyota moving forward tomorrow, 6:30 we start on FSN. Sunday, 1 o'clock as the Pirates and Padres will wrap up this series. And it's out on the road, out into the Rocky Mountains, where the Rockies will host the Pirates Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And that's the PNC Park Canvas photo wrap that was given out here tonight. A great photo. That's number 3 in the series of 3. The first one was Andrew McCutcheon. Second one was Bill Mazeroski, and this is the third one. A good look at America's best ballpark. And now you're looking at it live.
Ernesto Frieri coming on to work here in the bottom of the 7th inning with a 2-run lead. Will Venable stays in the ballgame to play right field.
Kevin Correa out. Frieri is in. Cedeno tries to bunt. And strike 2.
Correa, 6 innings, 3 runs. He gave up 6 hits. He walked 3, did not record a strikeout, but he is in line for a W.
Venable stays in right field. He hit for Cunningham, so that's a great chance. Nothing in 2 to Cedeno. Strikes out. He's not happy about it. Andy LaRoche up there batting for the pitcher next.
So the first San Diego strikeout is recorded by San Diego pitcher. As Frieri comes up and throws it by Ronnie Cedeno to start off the bottom of the 7th inning. Andy LaRoche going to give it a try.
LaRoche takes ball 1. Andy came up and had a nice pinch hit run scoring single on Wednesday against Milwaukee. He hit in the bottom of the 7th. Finds this one back. Andy trying to make the most of his playing time, which has diminished quite a bit since the call-up of Pedro Alvarez. Former Padre Sean Gallagher now up in the pen.
We have not seen a lot of Andy LaRoche. We have not seen a lot of Bobby Crosby lately. Spot appearances.
2-1 now to Randy. And that looks like Yoda. Is that your boy, Steve?
I'm not sure what that's all about.
I'm not sure either. That's something we have to get to the bottom to.
Good barrel.
I didn't notice that out there last night. Is that something new, or is that might be a Padre thing, because it looks like it's. I mean, he doesn't look very comfortable either. Okay. And a one-out walk. Andy LaRoche pinch hitting. And we'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Frieri just bought up from AAA Portland, where he was having a great year, 17 out of 19 in the save department. And a little funky little delivery, hides the ball, a little whip action in the back of the body before he delivers.
Tomlin has a hit tonight. Looking for another one for Frieri. Out of Bolivar, Colombia. His big league debut last year with the Padres, had 2 appearances. And a chase one.
That used to be called a cup of coffee. Come up for a short time, a couple of at-bats, a couple of appearances out of the bullpen. Yep, came up for a cup of coffee. And now it's a mocha latte, caramel cola, whatever they call it.
Half double decaf, half calf.
$6.50. Thank you very much. And of course, if you're Greg Brown, it's always that skim milk that you use.
Oh, strike 3 call. As Tabata is caught looking. There are 2 away.
There in the outside corner, according to Bill Welke.
Watch Frieri hide his ball behind his back.
That's way back there. So now you're ahead of your time. Okay, we got to pick this up. Where's this ball coming from? And there you go. And believe me, they don't have that much time in real time. There have been pitchers that will take that ball so far back you almost see it as they're sideways, and their delivery coming through, you'll see it on the other side of their back, and they bring it back around.
Nolan Young has walked twice tonight. And 2 miles an hour. Fastball.
Kind of tough to pick up.
Nolan trying to make some contact right here. This ball game is getting long in the tooth. And he strikes out on 3 pitches. So Ernesto Frieri comes in and strikes out the side with a walk mixed in. We'll head to the 8th. It's San Diego 5, the Pirates 3. Chiefs. Well, if you miss a big play from tonight's game, we've got the perfect solution for you. Catch Pirates Instant Replay, all the runs, hits, and action from this game in just 2 hours. Pirates Instant Replay tonight at 11, right here on FSN. We bring the game to you. New pitcher on, former Padre, Sean Gallagher.
A couple of scoreless innings Wednesday night against the Milwaukee Brewers. Mahalam, Donnelly, Carrasco, and now Gallagher. Strikeout to inning ratio, 26 innings, 23 strikeouts, but too many walks.
With Cabrera, looks at it, runs up the bunt. Gallagher's been all over. Born in Boston, lives in Florida, and spent time in California. Spent most of his time growing up in the state of Florida. And last winter, played winter ball for the team that was managed by Pirates first base coach Carlos Garcia. And Ray Searage, who was a coach out of the bullpen, was the pitching coach, and was his pitching coach all winter long in Venezuela.
Could have been something that Ray liked. It was conveyed under the Pirate brass.
Gallagher is 24 years of age. He gets, well, he does not get Cabrera on strike 2. Cabrera walks. Second inning in a row, relievers come out and walk the leadoff man. And now we'll see a pinch hitter. It'll be Tony Gwynn, or as his dad calls him, Antony.
That's a familiar way of doing that. Former Pirate trainer Tony Broder and his son Antony. Still has a son, Antony. He's an attorney down in Sarasota, Florida, where his dad Tony and Mom Carol live. Antony.
Tony Gwynn and his manager Bud Black have something in common. They both played collegiately at San Diego State, as did the elder Gwynn. In fact, many people don't know this, Steve, but Tony Gwynn's dad, Tony Gwynn Jr.'s dad, Tony Sr., was an outstanding basketball player at San Diego State, and he still holds the season assist record there. He played both baseball and basketball, and on the very same day was drafted by the Padres and the old San Diego Clippers of the NBA. Tony Gwynn Jr. started his career at the Milwaukee Brewers. And when he became available, the Brewers took him off the 40-man roster a couple of seasons ago. San Diego gave him an opportunity. He has been roaming the outfield, starting a lot of games, coming off the bench. One ball and no strikes to Tony Gwynn. And picked off. Gallagher gets Cabrera, and there's one down. Cabrera leaned a little too much.
Ball in the glove.
Great look from the AGH cam with a tag by Garrett Jones. And now Gwynn lines it right at Neil Walker, and the inning turns quickly. 2 outs, nobody aboard.
Well, you mentioned Bud Black. Everybody remembers going back to the days in San Francisco when Bud was a pitcher, and his catcher was Steve Decker, Black and Decker.
Quite a combination.
It's old, it's not original, but we used to have a lot of fun with that.
Did they construct a lot of wins?
They did. They did. They were electric.
Bud knows he's going to be on the job for at least 3 more years. Got an extension earlier in the week. A very good job. He took over when Bruce Bochy left to go up to San Francisco. southpaw, left-handed pitcher. One to Jerry Hairston Jr. Sean Gallagher trying to get the third out of the inning, and a bouncer chest high, handled easily by Pedro, and Hairston is out. Good work by Gallagher, helped out by the pickoff following the leadoff walk. Into the bottom of the 8th, Walker, Jones, and Alvarez due up. Park, game 1 of 3 this weekend between the Padres and the Pirates. San Diego with a 5-3 lead. 5 runs on 9 hits and an error. Pirates 3 runs, 6 hits and an error. And it's having a good time tonight. San Diego sends a new pitcher to the hill, and Luke Gregerson will take over for Frieri, who did a great job striking out 3, facing 4.
Very impressive. Gregerson, a lot of work last year with the Padres, 72 appearances. This is number 46 this year. 4 saves, opponent's batting average 151. Need a base runner or 4.
Pirates trying to put a 2 spot up here late in the ball game.
Try to get him now if you can. Heath Bell is out there lurking somewhere. And he's got a bunch of saves.
He's tough. Lyons, Illinois, Luke Gregerson facing Neil Walker. Walker takes the inside. Walker with 6 straight multi-hit games. Tonight without a hit. He's walked and is 0 for 2. Last Pirate with 7 consecutive multi-hit games, Barry Bonds in 1992. And Walker, sharply hit ground ball to second. Hairston double pumps and Walker is out. News.com minor league connection. Brandon Moss.
Wow, is he on a tear?
Yeah, he has been hot. Indy leading Charlotte in a nail biter, 15-5. But 3 for 4 tonight for Moss. 2 home runs. He's driven in 6. So Mossy getting it done in Indy. Brandon trying to make a bid to return to the big leagues. Garrett Jones now. 4 balls and a strike. Jones hitless in 3 trips tonight. Garrett Jones been the regular first baseman for the last 34 straight games. He's ahead in the count now, 2 balls and a strike. Luke Gregerson, acquired from the Cardinals in the offseason. The deal that sent Khalil Green to St. Louis, 2009. Garrett Jones, subject of tonight's Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. You go back to Sunday against Chris Sampson of the Astros. And Jones got this one up and out for home run number 12. That's tonight's Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Foul on the 2-2 pitch. Yeah, I found a way to get the Coors on this.
Well, that's why I stopped traveling.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go out there.
That was the year, huh?
Yep. Available wherever you shop.
Jones foul tip into the glove of the catcher Torrealba. He goes down on strikes, and Garrett Jones 0 for 4. Pedro Alvarez coming to the plate. 2 on and 3. But check out this pitch from Gregerson. A downward movement.
Yep. Slider action, over and down.
This bullpen very tough. They've got the lowest bullpen ERA in the major leagues. .87.
The whole staff is what, like 3 1/4 or something like that. They're done well everywhere.
3.3. That's second in baseball, and their ERA in the 7th inning or later as a team is 2.53. That's also the best in baseball.
So we think we've got some good guys for the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and we do. So do the Padres.
1-1 to Pedro. He singled in the 4th. Ended up coming around on Lasting's Miller's 2-run single, and then got a base hit in the 6th inning and was stranded. Pirates down by 2, bottom of the 8th, 2 down. 1-1 delivery. And this one is ripped right at Adrian Gonzalez. He'll handle it himself, and the Bucks are done in order in the 8th. On to the 9th at PNC Park. 5-3 Padres. Defense by Pedro Alvarez. Bases full and nobody out. Great bare-handed play here by Pedro. Force at the plate and limited the Padres that inning to just 1 run. So Pedro Alvarez providing play and makes a smile from our friends at Aspen Dental.
It's a good one.
Well, Sean Gallagher remains on here to start the top of the 9th. 5-3 Padres. 9 runs for San Diego. 9 hits rather, and 5 runs, and 6 hits for the Pirates. Strike one on the foul ball. Denorfia, the center fielder. And has a hit tonight, a double back in the second inning. He drove in a run. He takes the ball. Ball, one strike. One pitch. Swing and a miss. Glad you're along with us no matter where you're watching Pirates baseball. Steve Blass, I'm Tim Neverett. First to 3 this weekend. Tomorrow, Matt Latos expected to pitch for San Diego. Right now, he's listed as, or it is listed as a TBA, but he's expected to come off the disabled list and face San Diegan Jeff Karstens.
His 10-4 record.
Strike 3 call, and Denorfia knew it.
It goes 10-4, 2.45 ERA. Right there, Sean gets him.
And for Padre fans, that's a familiar face. Gallagher joined the Pirates on the last road trip. Gallagher was designated for assignment. Interesting to note that Gallagher is on his 4th ball club right now. He's only 24. He has been a player to be named later. He's been designated for assignment. He really understands firsthand what this business of baseball can be all about.
Familiar with the transaction page.
2-1. And Heath Bell is polishing up his act in the bullpen right now for San Diego. Gallagher was the player to be named later in the deal last season when the Padres acquired Scott Hairston from Oakland. He had been with the Cubs, showed some good promise as a youngster with the Cubs, and now here with the Pirates. So Chicago, Oakland, San Diego, Pittsburgh.
He was really high up on the charts for the Cubs. He was highly regarded.
Go back to 2008. He was 3-4 for Chicago. But when he started in 2007, that's when he really made a little bit of a splash. He came on and pitched in 8 games, got a save. He started, he's relieved, he's closed, he's done all kinds of different things in his brief career, including walking Adrian Gonzalez here with 1 out.
There's something fascinating about the transaction. They always catch your eye. You want to look and see who's moving around and see if you can see a recognizable name. I think I saw Big Country, Brad Eldred, bought up to Colorado or somebody. He was bought up to the big leagues by a major league team. Well, I guess it was Colorado. It has to be a major league team.
Brought up. Yes, sir. That's true.
Hadn't heard his name in a while.
See him on Tuesday.
See, there's the transaction page, and there's the obituaries, what I call the travel section.
You're reading those every day?
I do. I don't know why. I'm probably my age.
I mean, I think you read them probably hoping you don't see somebody you know.
That's true, unfortunately.
Whereas in the transaction column, you're looking for people you do know.
I even look at the lottery page, and I never play it, but I always look at it.
You look at it and you say, I wouldn't have played that number.
Yeah, but then when the number you like comes up, kick yourself.
Always makes a good souvenir and a good story. Catch a ball of the game. Down on strikes goes Scott Hairston. They were involved in the same transaction together. And Gallagher strikes him out, 2 away.
Good looking breaking ball.
Jorge Torrealba, 1 on and 2 out. Torrealba hits this one to right toward the line. Delwyn Young is there, and he makes the catch. And the Pirates now down to their last at bat. Last wraps for the Bucks. Millage, Jaramillo, and Cedeno due up. Bottom of the ninth inning. Pirates need 2 at least. And they'd like to wave that at the end of the night in victory. They can come up with something against Padres closer Heath Bell. And he is a tough one.
A California native. 42 saves last year. Well on the way toward that total this year. 27 last 14 in a row.
Heath Bell will have to face Lasting's Millage. Millage is 1 for 3. Jason Jaramillo, he is 0 for 3. And Ronnie Cedeno, who is 1 for 3 with a run score. Well, we'll see if the Pirates can pull something out of their hat here. Down by 2 runs here in this one. Padres, the only National League team with a winning record on the road, 25-20. First pitch to Millage. He takes strike 1.
Well, it's somewhat of a not distinguished career, undistinguished career for the New York Mets for Heath Bell, but boy, he got it figured out. Last year, 42, 27 so far this year.
38 innings. He struck out 53. He's 2/3 of the way to getting Millage. He had a 4-out save on the 22nd of June against the Dodgers. And he had a 5-out save in his last outing on the 11th of July at Colorado. There's ground ball. Cabrera from the outfield grass throws him out 1 away. So Crosby's going to come up and hit for Jason Jaramillo.
Need a base runner just to get a breath of air.
Base runner, and the bloop, and the blast. Yep. Get it done, but Crosby trying to start over here. Again, Heath Bell tied for the lead in the majors with 27 saves. And Crosby looks at it. That's ball 1. Crosby's never faced him. Of course, Crosby spending all of his career until this year in the American League. Now he's been a National Leaguer. And he fouls it back. Heath Bell supplanted Trevor Hoffman as the closer in San Diego, making Hoffman expendable last year, and Hoffman ended up with the Milwaukee Brewers, and now he's lost his job there to John Axford, who we saw twice during the series with the Pirates. Recently completed, and Axford has been very, very tough. In fact, I think it's safe to say he is one of the 2 top young arms we have seen coming out of the closer's role this year. Neftali Feliz, rather, out of Texas. The Pirates played the Rangers in interleague play, was another. That was called to Crosby. Of course, you get to see a lot of veteran closers, but as far as the young guys, Axford and Feliz, probably the 2 top young arms we've seen this year.
Axford was very impressive.
3-2 now to Crosby.
That close to a base runner. That's what it's come down to.
Crosby trying to get aboard so the tying run can get to the plate. Bell's 3-2. Ripped down to third. Chase Headley with a nice backhand. Throws him out. And there are 2 away.
Sitting in the no doubles configuration defensively, which means you're pretty much on the line. Headley protecting the line right there. Very comfortable backhand. Plenty of time. Sharply hit ball.
Pirates down to their final out tonight. Last year, the Pirates went to San Diego, won 2 of 3 from the Padres, and the Padres came here in a 4-game set, took 3 of 4. No balls, 1 strike. And the 0-1 to Cedeno. The Pirates down to their final strike as Ronnie chased that pitch down and away. And Potash coming up with the AGH Sports Medicine Pirates post-game show, and our closer, Kent Tekulve, there with him. The highlights and analysis of this ball game. Keep the faith. That's ball 1. Well, just a rough second inning for Paul Maholm, and that seemed to be the difference in the game, Steve.
Yep.
Heath Bell, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Caught the catcher, Yorvit Torrealba, just wrong.
And Heath Bell just turns his back on his catcher and walks away. That's a stinger. Off the knee. Yep, right off the knee. You get shin guards on, but ouch. So he's gotten kicked in the head, banged on the knee.
And now the count worked full, 3-2. Ryan Church has picked up a bat. He's on deck. Should Cedeno reach?
And he is certainly capable. He's showing power.
Cedeno stays alive following the 3-2 pitch off. 18,611 here tonight. Big crowd expected tomorrow night. Latos, Jeff Karsten's a pitching matchup. 7:05 the first pitch, and after the game, Steve Miller Band. Payoff pitch coming to Ronnie Cedeno from Heath Bell. They'll get another one, yep. No foul pitches off with 2 strikes. And that's where Greg and Bob will be tomorrow. Trip to the Media Hall of Fame Club, broadcasting from left field. A different look at the game. And Sure you go out and say hi to the boys. You and I will be over on the radio side tomorrow in the nice, cool, comfy, air-conditioned radio booth.
Say hello, don't get close. They're somewhat trained.
And that's the ball game. As Cedeno strikes out, Bell picks up his 28th save. And the Padres have taken game one here on this Friday night by a final score of 5-3.
Well, some pitching, some decent pitching by Correa, but then the big bullpen work as the Pirates picked up one runner in the last 3 innings, and that was a pretty tidy finish.
This 3-2 pitch fooled Cedeno. Heath Bell brings up another save for the San Diego Padres.
Number 28.
That'll do it for tonight's game coverage. Our next broadcast of Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh tomorrow night as this 10-game homestand continues with game 2 of 3 with the Padres. Matt Latos, 10-4 against Jeff Karstens, 2-5. Trip Total Media Pirates pregame begins our coverage at 6:30. Greg Brown and Bob Walk have the call for you from the Trip Total Media Hall of Fame Club in left field at 7, right here on FSN Pittsburgh, bringing the game to you. Once again, our final score, San Diego 5 and the Pirates 3. For Steve Blass and our entire FSN crew, I'm Tim Neverett, reminding you to stay tuned. The AGH Sports Medicine Pirates postgame show comes up right after the break.